Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, today I just shared with you the release for LDRS Creative. It's the brand new release, and so I was super excited about it, so I jumped in and created a card. So that's what we're going to do today. If you missed the release video, everything that's brand new to the LDRS Creative shop, I'll link it at the end. But this here is the beautiful heart wreath stamp set. It is a beautiful organic heart. There's leaves and berries in here. This would be great for Christmas, but Valentine's Day, but even just because cards. So this is what it looks like when you stamped it. I'm going to color in just a few areas of the wreath because I wanted to really take my time and do a little bit of extra shading in here. But I'm just using 3 shades of green. I listed them up on top here on the right hand corner. I'm going to color in all the leaves, the majority of the wreath, with my greens, and then the berries I'll just use 2 rosy pinks, and I listed those as well. But super easy coloring. I think I love the look of organic cards. I just think it looks so natural and so pretty, and so I fell in love with this. So this is the very first project I'm creating with the brand new release, but you'll see how gorgeous this is after I just finished coloring in the leaves. Believe it or not, if you wanted to go over your entire wreath with your alcohol markers with the green and just do added shading with darker colors, you could very well do that, but I'm just doing each individual leaf, just taking my time and adding that extra detail and extra shading to it. But isn't it so pretty? I just love this. So those are the colors that I used, and I'm all finished coloring, and I think this is probably one of my favorites. I just love the way this looks. Okay, there is a coordinating die set that goes with it, so I'll take this and we'll take it out of the package. Now, the lovely thing about the coordinating die set is it cuts out your wreath with 1 die. Everything is perfectly centered for you. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you know what I mean, but usually the centerpiece of your wreaths, you have to add that extra piece too. And I always have a bit of a time lining everything up. This is lined up for you, which makes it so easy. So my wreath is die cut out, perfectly centered. Love that. And then now we're going to work on our background. I wanted my wreath to be hanging almost like a topiary on a string. So I have some natural twine here. I'm going to secure, I doubled it up. It's pretty thin, so I doubled it up. I'm going to add a piece of foam adhesive behind the very top and then secure that natural colored twine to my wreath here. I'm going to line it up on a panel. The panel size that I'm using is slightly smaller than my card base. You can see I'm going to be using a craft card base. So the panel size is 4 inches by 5 1/4. It's going to leave me a little bit of a craft border around my panel here. I secured that twine behind my panel just using some double-sided tape, and then I'll use my tape runner to add it to the rest of my panel, and then we can just secure this directly to our card front. This card we're going very simple, but very natural looking. Okay, I tied a bow with that same twine. I doubled it up, created a little bow that we're going to adhere to the top of our little heart wreath. I'm just going to use a glue dot to secure it. And this alone would make a great just any day note card to have on hand. This would make a beautiful note card set, guys. Super pretty. Okay. For my sentiment on this card, I'm bringing in the love stack. I love these things. These are so neat. This is the love stack stamp set. Now there's a bunch of love themed sentiments in here. It's 1 stamp. I mentioned this during the unboxing how neat this was, but I'm just going to place this on my craft card stock in my stamp positioner here. I'm going to be using the craft cardstock that I used for my card base. I treated my paper with my anti-static powder bag, and then we're going to do some heat embossing with some white embossing powder. So I'm inking up my sentiments with my LDRS Creative Watermark ink. Stamping it a few times, and then we'll take this paper and go over it with our LDRS Creative white embossing powder. And everything I use today, guys, will be linked down below. And then I'll go ahead and melt that embossing powder. Now you see those little 4 square corners? The neat thing about this is you have a die that will line up to those 4 corners, and we'll cut out fishtail banners for each one of those sentiments. It aligns them perfectly in the center, and they are ready to go. And these are nice to have in your stash. I just keep them in the same package, in a little envelope next to it, and they're ready to go for any project. I'm using foam tape. I'm going to add that behind my fishtail banner. The sentiment that I chose says, "Love you forever and always." And it was kind of bowy in the middle, my craft cardstock was. So I'm going to lift it up carefully and double up on my foam adhesive. That way everything's nice and even and flush. And then now we're going to add some bells and whistles. I'm going to bring in some white sequins here. We're going to add a few to the top and to the bottom of our heart wreath. And then I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle. So I'm going to bring in some glitter drops. These are clear when they dry, so it's just going to add a touch of sparkle. Originally I was just going to go over the berries, but I thought, you know, we're going to add a little bit of highlight to all of the leaves, adding a little bit more texture and dimension to our heart wreath here. And then that finishes off my project for today, guys. I look forward to creating some more projects for you with the brand new release, so keep a lookout for that. But thanks so much for stopping by. I wish you a lovely day, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.